here happily, I have to say, really enjoyed it, to review episode 6 of Disney Plus series WandaVision. And I have to say, I know the past couple of weeks I've been coming on and saying this is my favourite episode so far, but to be honest, this has been my favourite episode so far. I absolutely love Halloween and Christmas, and this was of course a Halloween episode. Not gonna lie though, would have loved if I had been able to watch this in October, but I can always watch it in October next year, so never mind. So of course this was a Halloween episode. We had the big reveal last week, the door went and it was Quicksilver, but it was Fox's version of Quicksilver, and I called it from the very beginning. Like I showed last week footage from my episode 1 and episode 2 review of this series, that I sort of said, look, I don't know, but I'm going to kind of predict that I think could we be getting X-Men in this series? And I was right. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But anyways, in this episode it starts off, it's Halloween. Wanda comes down and she's wearing her comic book version styled costume of Scarlet Witch, and of course we have Vision in his comic book styled costume as well, so they're dressed up like they were in the comics. And it's kind of cool because the kids are kind of like, oh, who are you dressed up as, mom, or what have you? And of course, because they wouldn't know her as, Scarlet Witch. So that was kind of the whole thing. And I forgot to mention that the intro of this was kind of like a rip-off version of Malcolm in the Middle. And in case anybody doesn't know, that's a series that was out in the 90s, because, in the 90s now in this episode, so that's what that was supposed to be for. So for any Malcolm in the Middle fans, I thought it was a great show. You would have recognised that. And also, I suppose, a bit of an Easter egg that I wanted to mention was when Quicksilver was in his costume, Wanda said to him, kick ass, and that is supposed to mean as in he was actually in a movie called Kick Ass. There's actually 2 of them. I watched them about 5 weeks ago and I thought they were absolutely brilliant. They're called Kick Ass, and he is actually in that, but also so is Marvel's version, Aaron Johnson. He is in Kick Ass as well as Evan Peters, who does the Fox's version, the version that's in this WandaVision series. And I thought that was super interesting because like both Quicksilvers are in Kick Ass, and she said to him, kick ass. So anybody who has watched the Kick Ass movies, you would have got that joke, or not joke, but I suppose Easter egg, sorry, should I say, immediately. Then we also had it was quite sad actually, because in this episode, when they were in their Halloween costumes and everything and they were out on the street, Wanda was sitting beside her brother Quicksilver, and she was sort of saying to him, like, why do you look different and everything? Because obviously it's the Fox's version, the X-Men version. It's not the Marvel movie version, right, of Quicksilver. And then she, for like a glimpse, was like 2 or 3 seconds, she's seen how he looked when he had died, basically, how she's seen him in basically Age of Ultron movie, and I thought that was really sad. And then that also made me remember, I can't remember what exact episode it was, but it was one of the earlier episodes anyway, it doesn't really matter, when Vision, how his head looked, and it was all sort of like crushed in and caved in because she had taken out the stone in Infinity War, when he said, it's okay, I just feel you, and she had to kill him. So basically that was kind of sad, and it was also sad, thinking like she has lost so much. She really, really has. She has been through so much trauma. Her brother, Quicksilver, died, and also Vision died. And then he was asking her, like, how did you do all this? How were you able to do all of this? And then she said, I don't really know how. I just remember being really alone or really empty or something. I can't remember exact words. So that was quite a sad, emotional and moving scene, I really thought. But then he said something like, oh, you can't bring your dead husband back twice or something, which a bit of a weird thing for our brother to say, which makes me think like he could be Mephisto. I honestly said that last week, and I think it actually could be. I thought it was very cool visually how they done this episode, and very intriguing as to how Vision was sort of he's really starting to really twig on and get the gist, like, what is happening here, what is this Westry all about, because he was going around and he was saying, because it's all acted out, it's an alternate reality, it's not real. and you know, some woman was like hanging up a ghost or something on a line, and she was like just, but like no emotion, like just, you know, just dull. Then he also was just seeing other things, weird things, but it was really cool the way they had like the kids standing with their Halloween costumes on, just like holding their like buckets of, I know you call it candy in America, like candy or whatever, and they're just like standing there. And I thought that was a really cool scene, the way that was done, because it literally looked like a freeze frame. You know, they were just literally frozen in time, basically. That's what it looked like. And that was really well shot. I thought I liked a lot of the shots in this. The visuals were great. And he was like, what on earth is going on? And then he seen Agnes, you know, the next door neighbour. And she was dressed up as a witch. And she was like, I can't remember how to get to such and such a street. And he's like, in your own town? How can you forget? You know, that's like me walking down the street and being like, where's the cafe? And like, somebody like, how can you forget? You're here like nearly like 2-3 times a week. How can you forget to get my coffee? Do you know what I mean? Or my mochas or my lattes or what have you. But that's another thing. But what I'm saying is she was like, you know what I mean? And he realized this is really super odd. This is weird, like, right? So she said, oh my gosh, are you dead? Or am I dead? And he went, no, why would you say that? And she said, because you are. And he said, what do you mean? And she said, you're Vision, you're one of the Avengers. And he said, what's an Avenger? And she said, how can you not remember? So, you know what I mean? So he then flew up in the air, and then he went to the edge of Westview, and he was trying to get out, and you could tell it was really, really hard to get out, like real forced, push to try and get out. And I thought he wasn't going to be able to get out. And then he eventually did, but it was trying to keep pulling him back in. And then, you know, he was just like, it was like, what? It was like, oh my gosh, no, like, don't remind me of Infinity War, please, Hector Camille, no, because I will cry, like, you know, even thinking of Infinity War makes me want to cry. But anyways, and then, you know, Sword and everything was there, and then Wanda found out, she knew, her kid told her that he could sense it, and then she just went crazy, she went mad. She basically got, you know, sort of like the edge of Westview, you know, that her little bubble of alternate reality, and just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, so that Sword basically were, you know, getting into Westview basically. So they are now going to be in Westview. Darcy was put in, you know what I mean? And then they were like trying to drive away, and they were like basically warped into her world, if that makes sense. So that is how it ended. I couldn't believe that that's how it ended. I thought we would have got something else, but that's how it ended. So it was a super intriguing ending, I thought. And I think it's cool the way, like, although it's emotional, I think it's cool the way, you know, we're getting to see things like, you know, when she's seen Vision and how his head was when she lost him, and then she's seeing visions of like her brother of when he died in Age of Ultron. I think that's super interesting, but it is super sad as a viewer and as a Marvel fan to actually sit and watch. But this show is so interesting, and she did say, I don't really know how I did it, but she obviously knows that she did do it, but she doesn't know exactly. It sounds like how she was able to do all of this, do you know what I mean? So that's what makes me think there's somebody behind this. There is, I think, like, Mephisto has got a lot to do with this. I really do believe so. But let me know what you think in the comments. I have to say I really enjoyed this. I mean, it was a Halloween episode, so what was not to like? So that was fun. It is just a pity that obviously this was released a bit later, because if this had been released maybe in, say, September or something like that, it would have been cool to watch in October, this 6th episode. But anyways, not to worry, I really enjoyed this episode, and I think this is my favourite one so far. Freaky. I mean, I was imagining to myself, imagine if this was real life and someone was telling you all these things like, but you're dead and all that, and you're trying to like, where am I? What is going on? There's something not quite right here. It would freak me the heck out. I'm not going to lie, it would freak me the hell out. But I really enjoyed this episode. I would love to know all your thoughts and comments below. It really does help my channel. If you give my video a like, if you do like it, share it with your friends across all your social media sites. You don't have to, but it would be highly appreciated. And if you have the time, it also really helps me as a creator if you do have the chance to leave me a comment, and it also helps me improve as well, you know, on my videos. But I love all the kind comments and all the kind words of support. It really makes my day, and it gives me a lot of confidence on my channel. I've been holding a cup of coffee this whole entire time because it is freezing. It is supposed to snow here in Ireland in the early hours of the morning tomorrow morning. So yes, that's why I'm holding a warm cup of coffee, because it's freezing. Even though I've had my heating on all day and I've had the fire on, it is freezing. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go and walk my dog now and then edit this and then set this up as a premiere for later. So when you're watching this, it'll be a premiere. But anyways, hope you enjoyed my review. That's pretty much all I have to say. I really love that kick-ass little Easter egg that Wanda flung in there. Specifically after me just watching these two kick-ass movies about 5 weeks ago. They are absolutely fantastic. They're like funny rip the piss versions of like a superheroes, basically. It's like, it's really, really funny, trust me. If you like superheroes and you like comedy, watch it. They blew me away. They really did. Both of the movies, they blew me away. Hard to say what one's my favorite, probably the second one, but they were both absolutely fantastic. So, and also if you like Nicolas Cage, you'll like it as well. But anyways, I will see you all in my next video, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as well. Let me know down in the comments, and I will speak to you all soon, guys. Bye.